let's talk clutches here. So in front I have all of the components. I have the internal parts of the basket here, and then I have the stock frictions and the stock steels. Now I actually have not disassembled these yet, so I'm going to go ahead, cut that zip tie off, keep them in order, and then clean the frictions as I see fit. Honestly, I haven't looked at them yet, but I'm sure I can clean them up and they'll be fine. But to replace the frictions, I got some EBC ones, part number CK1147. And then to pair with that, I actually got some updated or upgraded clutch springs, and they say they're 15% stronger than stock. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. I have a new Honda seal, and then I have, of course, the Alloy Volts stainless hardware kit. So you saw I polished the cover there to prep for all this. So while I'm waiting on the last seal to show up for that clutch cover, I'm going to go ahead and clean all of these components and then hopefully get them installed on the bike, and then by that time, maybe later today, I'll have the seal that I need, and then I can actually just button up the front of the engine. So that's what I'm working on now. But yeah, go ahead and I'll link, I will at least link Motofaction in the description, because he provides links to all of these parts, and I can't stress that resource of knowledge enough. Again, you know, motofaction.org, if you haven't checked it out, there's 479 articles or various pages on just CX500s. So anyway, if you're looking for information, you can likely find it there if you know how to search. So anyway, I'm gonna get to work. Alright guys, so I've been putting it off, but I can't any longer, and it's time to start polishing. So this is actually my absolute least favorite job to do, but at the same time it's also the most rewarding in your finished product, because you're taking just regular old metal and making it into a mirror. So I'll show you my process on this part, and then from there I'll just, you know, I'm not going to show me actually doing it, because I already hate doing the job enough. I don't want to have to spend the time filming, so that would be super boring anyway. But what I do is I start with either a clean piece like this one, which has been vapor honed, or I start with, let's say, like a traditional cover that still has paint on it or something like that. Now, I chose to have this one vapor honed because it's going to save me time right now. And the reason for that is it's already bare aluminum, it's already clean. So this is going to save me having to knock off paint. Now what I'm going to start with is a 320 grit. I'm going to knock that down, and then I'll go ahead and quickly step it up to 1000. And this is going to be on my DA, and I'm going to do those steps before I even touch it with the buffing wheel or the polishing wheel. Now if this is a like straight off the bike cover, I would start with probably 180 grit, and then or even paint stripper, and then 180 grit, step that up to 220, then 320, then 1000, and then buffing wheel. But yeah, we're saving time already, so we're going to start with 320, and then yeah, so another reason I put this off is because this is the most filthy, disgusting job that you do in a shop. So I have, in my last place, I had 2,500 square feet. I had plenty of room to kind of move around or move the actual workspace to, I don't know, make only a certain section dirty. But this is not a big place, so I make a little bit dirty and it makes all of it dirty. So ventilation is important. That's why I have that fan right there. That's going to be blowing over the top of me to that fan right there to hopefully help draw some out. And then at the same time, I'm still going to have the exhaust fan going in the distance there. That'll hopefully try to promote some kind of circulation. And then, you know, you see I have the bike covered. And I don't really have the ability to cover too much more. Just going to make sure the drawers are closed and maybe lay down some cardboard or something like that. But yeah, it sucks. And then because of that, you definitely want to make sure you have a good mask. So I just put new filters in, and so I'll be good there. I'm going to have long sleeves. That sucks because it's like 100 degrees in here. And then beyond that, definitely gloves because it gets really hot. Most importantly though, your face mask. I don't know if you guys can see that nice little divot right there. Yep, that was right between the eyes. That was a brake arm return spring. So polishing, catches, and then right in between the eyes. The mask actually hit my face, but it didn't go through. But that's why you wear that mask. And I know some of you guys comment that I use my grinder without like a, you know, a cover and stuff like that. And yeah, whatever, I get you. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna wear a mask when polishing. So anyway, enough talking because I'm just trying to avoid this at all costs. But I'm gonna get to it. You'll see the results. So. I had that on for 20 seconds. I'm covered. Workbench. And then all that. 20 seconds. Ugh. Anyway. Alright. So I hit this with, I did have to back it down to 220 just to kind of smooth it out a little bit more, but 220, 320, then 1000. Now, from a direct view, not so bad. It's got a little shine to it. Then you start flipping it. And then it turns to mirror. So that just is amplified whenever you actually start polishing. So this is the setup I use. Technically it doesn't belong to me, it's a buddy of mine's, but he hasn't come to claim it. So anyway, it's an Eastwood buffer, and then I get these wheels, I don't know, they're Cobalt brand I get from Lowe's. I haven't really invested in like a lot better ones. I'm sure there's a lot better ones out there, especially maybe cheaper or higher quality, or not cheaper but higher quality for one. So any recommendations, let me know. But yeah, this is, in case I haven't talked about it or you haven't noticed in my videos yet, my vise that I move in and out off the bench. I did the same setup with the polisher because I have the trailer hitch I welded to the bench that I made here. So anyway, this is what I'll use, and I'm going to go ahead and gear up and start making a mess. All right. It's looking pretty good. So it's a little, it's got a few streaks on it just from my hand and acetone and whatnot. So I went ahead and I've got the intersections here cleaned out, and then I'm going to go ahead and actually paint the insert So I'm gonna start masking this off, but looking pretty good. And they're never perfect. I mean, there's a couple little spots. I actually went and I did about here to here. I took it back down to 180 grip because this is right behind the front tire, so it picks up a little rock, a lot of rock chips, and I was able to get rid of some little tiny divots, but not all of them, but most of them. So anyway, it's looking pretty good now, and that's just kind of how I do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and mask that off, get it painted, and if I ever receive the gasket, I will throw it on the bike. So yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and install the clutch here, and you saw that I started soaking these things, and they've been soaking overnight just because this is just the time that I've now had to put these in. And I got curious, so I decided to soak them overnight. Then I'm like, well, why do I soak them overnight? So, or how long should I be soaking them? So anyway, I went ahead and just did a Google search, and basically, who knows? Again, like everything, just kind of use your discretion here. So I just wanted to soak them anyway. I don't know if the fibers are actually going to soak in any kind of oil. You might be able to get away with just lightly coating them with oil and then installing them. Soak them for an hour, who knows, but just use your own judgment there. Anyway, I soaked the steels in here as well, just because they have like little indentions. I just want to try to get oil into those. So now I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up. These are placed in here in the order they came out. So basically if I lift them out like that, they will be aligned. So I'm going to assemble the clutch basket here, and then I will slide this in as a unit to the actual bike, and then from there we can button it up. We'll get new springs in and then lock it all down. So I'm going to set it up and see how this goes. It's going to be super messy. Get the chair set up. This is going to be interesting because I'm down to like 4 gloves now, and the ones I use whenever the pandemic hit, you couldn't find a lot of gloves as well, like surgical gloves and things like that. And these are the Raven brand that I really like. I couldn't find them anywhere, so I am having some slim pickings. These are similar gloves, but not the gloves that I love to use. So this is the aluminum surface. Obviously, we're going to go friction, and then steel, friction, steel, friction, steel. And here, as I've mentioned, let me get these out. Just set them down here. This is just going to be a messy job any which way we try to slice it here. And this will be facing the front, so we're gonna kind of start backwards here and do front, then back, then front, then back. Alright. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this. Facing up now, they will face down. Really hope you guys are actually enjoying this entire build series. The reception seems very positive in the comments that I get. I appreciate them a lot. Hopefully they're helpful, but I figured I would just kind of start this channel and document just how dang OCD I am. So, well, OCD, but I still forget to put another friction in. That's seated. There it is. All right. Everything is seated there. Crush washer, outer nut, kind of do a crisscross pattern here, little by little. There it is. We have our little bearing. We're ready for the cover. All right.